Okay. हो गया?
दीदी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं लाइट बहुत कम है Hey everybody, I know there's a bunch of us who've joined already. Just getting set up a little bit. It's really sunny today, so I've had to shut down the blinds. So let me know if I'm audible, A, and B, if it's clear. So I know there's a bunch of you on already. There's a little chat box. I am personally new to. Okay, lovely. I'm personally new to this YouTube, so I'm a little bit lost. But we have Komal here. I'm actually going to open a couple of my notes on my phone. We still have 2 minutes before we start. Thanks. Okay. Is it everybody's first time going? I don't know. I've never gone YouTube live, so I'd love to hear from you all how YouTube live works. I cannot see you all, unfortunately. That's why I missed the Zoom format. But we had so many people signed up for this free protocol, even though a lot of people don't end up attending or wait for the video. But there was like 450 people signed up, so I didn't do it on Zoom. I did it here. But I can see your chats, and I'll continue to see your chats, and I think that's going to feel good enough. Your first time here as well? No. But I love to do things on Zoom because then we can hear. Hi, all of you. Monica, Kanupriya, Laura, Mana, Seema, Binu, Amardeep, Kanupriya, Gayatri. Hi, Mitali. We will start in a minute or two. Of course, I would also have liked to share the presentation with you all. It just the visuals make things much easier. But what I will do. Good morning, Seema, Manisha, and Neha. But what I will do is, on Podia, once you guys sign up, firstly, the recording, you can come back to YouTube, see the recording. But what I'll also do is the protocol that we discuss. I will have that little protocol in a PDF so you can download it and you can see it. Hi, Dinah. Hi, all of you. Hi, Paige. Hi, Disha. Hi, Partha. And there's a lot of people from India, so I'm sure you guys have had some experience with pranayam. But I grew up in India, and I've been into yoga and pranayam since I was 10, which is the last 30 plus years. Everything will be uploaded in Podia, great, which is the last 30 plus years. And I'll tell you, still it's taken me this, and to really go back to Hatha Yoga Pradipika, to go to Patanjali Sutras, to work with teachers who've read them, to really understand how I can enhance my pranayam and how I can do it. Because the goal, the desire becomes to kind of say, oh, I have to do Kapalabhati, I have to do this, I have to do all kinds of pranayam. And that's not really the case, because we've not even learned to move the prana correctly. So I think it's a good time that we can start. Hi, Anushka. Hi, Aarti. And yeah, Seema, we'll make sure. Hi, Stephanie. So let's get started. I want everyone to just get comfortable. Every time we go into a practice which is based in the Vedic sciences, it's a reminder that these practices emerged from knowing what was within. And once we connect to our within, I find it extremely important to go back within and connect with ourselves when we're receiving any of these practices. Honestly, that's the only way we can receive. We cannot receive these practices mechanically as information. We can only receive it as wisdom and knowledge. And for that, we have to connect. Oh, Mitali, it's okay to do this practice. Yes. It is okay to do this practice if you wait 3 hours. I'm going to actually shut this door because it's very sunny. All right. So we're going to start with this connection where I am going to chant Om. And I want everyone to start noticing that whether the Om is on the inhale or the exhale, how is it that you do Om? Even just ask yourself without us doing it today. Is back rest okay? Those are great questions. I will take some questions before we start. During the protocol, I'll take while we're doing the pranayam. Unless it's a very technical question, I will save it till the ending. Okay. I prefer that unless you're like really not used to back rest, then you take back rest. But I will tell you, the minute we take back rest, energy gets transferred from within to outside. It is very, very challenging in the beginning to not take back rest. And most people end up doing this to sit straight. Like they really stretch their spine and hurt their spine. You actually sit straight by imagining that there's a band underneath your breast and there's a band in your lower pelvis. I'm going to turn this. And then there's a band in your lower pelvis. And you're like kind of stretching this area. So you tighten the band, you tighten this band, and you tighten this band. And you kind of, by tightening this band and doing a little Kegel, you keep this area straight. Hi, Mama Yani. So I would prefer that, okay? And I just want you all to think that when we Om, are we elongating the inhale or the exhale? So I'm going to Om, everybody, wherever y'all are. You all can do Om with me. I want you to know it's O-N-G, not O-M. And notice how that is different. Om is here. When you do Om, it's at the back. It's the back of your tongue. So notice these little nuances because they go a long way. Inhale. Om. I want everyone to keep their eyes closed as I'm going to chant this prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvi Navadhitam Asatuma Vishvedahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Everyone can gently open their eyes. And I'd love for you to type in the chat box whether the Om was focusing more on the inhale or the exhale. Cushion, okay, absolutely. I myself am sitting on a cushion. That really helps to bring the spine up. Exhale. Okay, so I want you to start noticing these little things, and we'll talk about why that exhalation is where the money lies. Okay, so it becomes very, very important once we go into the definition of prana. So everyone said exhale. Exhale is the right answer. If you're focusing on the inhale, if your inhale is longer, you almost intuitively, when people Om, they go Om. It's very hard to make the sound through an inhale. Why Om and not Om? Because that's the sound, Richa. It is actually Om. It's very different. So now I want to talk about why I even chanted right after that. Okay, these little nuances. We're going to do little, which will give us more power, rather than doing too much, which we're confused about. We want to we want to use this practice to come closer to who we are. So every sound, Sanskrit is a vibrational language. Okay, every sound in Sanskrit has focused on the pitch, the sound, what it does to the energy sphere around us. As we know, sound is so powerful. If there's something that's very loud outside, it can break glass inside, because sound creates a vibration. And Sanskrit, all of these words in a mantra, they create vibrations to trigger certain aspects, subtle glands in our body. Ong, again, depends where you keep your tongue, how you say it, what is the measure of the inhale and the exhale. All of these little things determine the impact that sound will have on your energy sphere, on your bioelectrical energy. So we start with what is prana. Anything that is living, anything that brings life into a substance, or into an organism, not a substance, anything that brings life into an organism, that is prana. Prana is what keeps us alive. It's literally the difference between living and non-living. Prana in human beings is also represented. One of the aspects of prana is the breath. That's why we know when we die, we lose breath. So while breath and prana don't really correlate with each other, we use breath to keep prana intact, to keep prana moving, and to enhance prana. And that is the reason why we practice pranayam. When we practice pranayam, we are enhancing prana, we are enhancing life. We use the breath as a tool to work with our prana. Those texts were never written in English. That's more of a Western commentary to have it. The ong sign is like this. There's no m, like that's more Western arti. Okay, I'm just going to see if we missed anything. So the breath and the mind come together, and then once we have the breath in place, your mind gets in the game, right? So prana also represents mind, an active mind. It's bioelectrical energy. Things, if there is a sinoatrial node in the heart, even when a person dies, or if you're just working with a laboratory and you worked with a fresh heart uh, that's just been surgically removed, it's still going to beat a little bit. That bioelectrical energy that keeps things vibrating is prana. So it's basically the organizing principle of creation. So then why are we doing pranayam? And I want to first start talking about the inhale and the exhale, right? The inhale, as we inhale, what happens in our body is we get into action mode, where inhale pumps those juices in our body, which will keep us working, which will give you adrenaline, which will keep you engaged in the world, which will keep you awake in the world. That's what inhales do. So I say, as we are human beings, the inhales make us human doings. They give us action and energy to go and do a task. In the world of psychology, in the new nervous system, that's called the sympathetic mode, the fight or flight mode, where we get into action. The exhales take us into a human doing, a being mode. So inhale is human doing, exhale is human being. We are supposed to be human beings. We want to be in that mode, in the exhale mode, more than we want to be in the inhale mode. This is one of the reasons today, when we've had a very busy day, we'll be like, and you sigh out loudly, because your body forces that exhale and forces itself to reset. One of the greatest things about that mode is that it goes into repair and relaxation. Your entire body goes into a relaxation mode, goes into repair mode, goes into healing mode. Ideally, you want a balance between human doing and human being. You want a balance between your inhales and your exhales. But because we are living in these times where there is so much more doing, we don't realize how short our breath becomes. According to the Vedic sciences, we also come with a counted number, a limited number of breaths. When we have shorter breaths, we are actually reducing our longevity, because our breaths are limited in number. That's how our lifespan is determined according to the Vedic sciences. So, how then do I balance my inhales and exhales? What, of course, this does is it balances the environment of the body. The juices that are released upon the inhalation are heating up juices, they're firing up juices. With that, you can lead to a burnout. The exhale is cooling down, it's really settling your environment again. Disease cannot exist in that kind of relaxed environment, in that sphere. So pranayam helps you to balance that human doing and human being mode. Today, autoimmune disorders, allergies, autoimmune responses are on the rise. And one of the reasons is that your body is as always in this fired up state. Your endocrine glands, I don't know if everybody knows what endocrine glands are, but people have heard of adrenal fatigue, people have heard of thyroid, etc. The pituitary is the hypothalamus and the pituitary, which are in your brain, are like this command center, which tell your body what juices to release. These juices are then released by your endocrine glands. I find the science very important to understand because it's a leading cause of autoimmune disorder today. Because we are always in this fire up mode, imagine what we're dumping into our blood. Our blood is systemic, it travels throughout the body. When your blood is hot and full of those juices or neurotransmitters, which are heating up, which are firing up, it then really impacts the health of your organs, health of everything else. You cannot fight disease. It is very hard to exist in that state. So, we instead, and of course, right, we're always telling ourselves, oh, don't be stressed, oh, don't be that. But a simple practice of pranayam brings stillness. Let's talk about some of the other benefits of pranayam, right? I want to make sure I don't miss anything. We are always engaged outside in the world through our senses. So, five senses, we're always using our five senses. When you do pranayam, you actually tune into your environment inside, your breath, which is within you, the stillness that it creates. Once you balance inhale and exhale, there's a natural stillness that is created. With that, you actually awaken your sixth sense. And I'm telling you this because I've seen this from my own. Of course, it's there. It's written in the shastras, but I also want to tell you from my own understanding, right? You start understanding things about your body, your mind, your own truth, which are just impossible to get through information outside. The real wisdom and knowledge which is within starts expressing itself. Of course, the nervous system, which is such a big cause today, gets regulated. One important thing is that it stimulates nitric oxide. So, certain pranayams stimulate nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, right, which, the olfactory, which is the smelling gland, and it connects the hypothalamus, that nitric oxide release helps to give a command to the hypothalamus to keep functioning at its optimum and fighting disease. That's why a lot of people during COVID, when they worked with pranayam, they recovered faster. Not only did they recover faster, they kept healthy afterwards. And one of the biggest advantages that I find of pranayam, of course, it comes in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras as a step after asana. So the way people traditionally entered into pranayam is that they did asana, which means they strengthened their body. Why did they need to strengthen their body and be able to sit longer? Because when you do pranayam, you move prana, you move trauma from your body, you enhance healing in your body, you move those things which were locked in your system as energy for lifetimes. Everything gets moving, and when that gets moving, you want a strong body because you don't want it to get trapped elsewhere. So we are going to do a very safe and a very, very simple practice. What it also does, it balances the two sides of the brain, your two nostrils. Does anybody know that the left and the right nostrils are connected to different parts of your brain? Some people say the left nostril is connected to the right hemisphere, and the left is connected to the right hemisphere, and the right is connected to the left hemisphere. What also happens is that the left nostril is connected to the more intuitive part of your brain. The right nostril is connected to the more analytical part of your brain. Now, the way we can use this information is through this. The right, which is called the pingla, fires things up. It puts you in that human doing mode again. And the left nostril, which is called the ida, puts you in the relaxing mode. I'm going to show you a picture of that so you can understand it. It's also called Shiv and Shakti, right? So the right fires everything, the right nostril. It's called the Surya Nadi or the Pingla Nadi. And the left nostril is the cooling Nadi, the water, it carries water elements. Very often I've seen when people are completely dry and very heated, dry, eczema, heat rash, I'll see only their right nostril is working and their left nostril is blocked. So that water, softer elements, intuitive elements are blocked. The feminine energy is blocked. Active exhales, passive inhales. So all of these, right? The exhale, the inhale, the right nostril, the left nostril, the game of balancing these two nostrils, the game of balancing your inhales and exhales. That's all that we want to focus on in the first round of pranayam practice. The mistake people make is that they want to go to Bhastrika and they want to go to Ujjayi and they want to go to all these advanced practices without even balancing the prana. If we just balance the prana, as we're going to learn in our practice right now, we're going to begin. If we learn to balance the human doing and the human being and the way our prana functions, all the other practices will come to you naturally. I know the Ujjayi came to me naturally after these practices. I stumbled upon Ujjayi. People stumble upon Agnisar. People stumble upon these practices because the body just moves in those ways. Yeah, that is a really, really beautiful picture, Mana. I actually, the idea of painting that is a great one. And even for weak digestion, somebody said weak digestion. If you don't have enough digestive fire, sometimes, you have an excess kapha. That's your left nostril more active, more water elements are active. So you want them both to be active ideally. You want the right and the left to be balanced. You want the inhale and the exhale to be balanced. Okay, so first we're going to start, extremely important, can feel a little boring to some people, but we're going to start with something called the resonance breathing. I'm going to use an app called the Breathing app. Komal here is going to give a link to what the app is. You don't have to download it at all. But we are going to first learn how to breathe fully. And the way I want you to breathe is this, right? So we are going to do 3 rounds, focusing on different parts. But we are not going to directly focus on it. We're going to just use our hands to create the focus in our mind. And we are going to focus on the top of our nostrils here, where the air hits in your nose. That's where I want you to focus. And one little part of your awareness to focus on the abdomen in this first round of breathing. So we're going to do 4 rounds of resonance breathing. In the first round of resonance breathing, I want everyone, we're going to lay down and do it. And this is just a demo, so just watch me first. And we're going to lay down with our knees held up, and I'll show you what that looks like. Your middle fingers around your navel, around your belly button, and your hands kept like this. Then we're going to inhale to a sound that I'm going to play, which is going to sound like a gong. So inhale to 1 gong and exhale. Inhale. And then as the gong goes, we exhale. Okay, and we're going to do this lying down. I'm going to show you. I just want you to see the hands first. In the second minute of this resonance breathing, we're going to use our hands and we're going to put it right here, which is under our rib cage where our diaphragm is. So we can get all the breathing muscles activated through this before we actually start working with our prana. So again, for this one, you need the thumb to be behind here and your hands to be here. For this one, you can just keep it like this, your thumbs up. And I'll keep showing them to you as we go again. For the second round of resonance breathing, we keep the thumb, we put our hands here, and we hold it at the bottom just like this. For the third round of resonance breathing, and it'll become clear as we do it, I want us to keep our thumbs right near our collarbone. So we kind of put our hands, we cross our hands on our chest. So by doing this, but you only focus on the breath that's coming in, that's where most of your focus is, and you let your hands send signals to your brain to focus on this. So your brain is subconsciously focusing on where your hands are through stimulus, but you're focusing on the inhale and the air that enters your nostrils. You'll realize just by doing this to the sound that I play, it becomes extremely relaxing. After that, we let our hands go. We just lay down. Again, I play the sound, and we do 2 minutes of a full resonance breathing where you're just inhaling and exhaling, and automatically your body will breathe better. So that's where we start. I want to show you what I mean by we're going to lie down and do it. So you can, if you need a pillow, because your neck should never be tilted too far. There's bandhas in your body which are locks. So you can use a little pillow so to make sure that your neck is not tilting back, it's tilting downwards. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that this is visible. So you lay down. You can have your knees up, hip width distance apart, a little bit further away from your hips if that's what's required. And then you put your hands here for the first breath. As I play the sound, which I will right now, you can just enjoy the inhale and the exhale to the sound of the gong. I'm going to now play the sounds and show you what that's going to sound like. So you can actually do the inhales and the exhales. This beginning is a little bit technical to explain, but I'm going to do it so we can do it. So this is the breathing app. Right? This is the breathing app. So if any of you download it, it's a super duper easy app. It gives you, I don't know if it's visible. I feel like it's not visible. There's a little place here that gives you the time. I'm going to put it to 1 minute, the timer. It's only a one screen app. I love it. And this is how the gong will sound like. I'm playing it for you today. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we start? And I choose a ratio, and I'm going to choose the ratio 4:6, which means 4 is your inhales and 6 is your exhales. If that's hard for you when you do it, you can do 4:4 or 5:5. Depends on how long feels comfortable. What is the name of the app? Komal, can you put the app, the name of the app in the chat, please? The app is called the breathing app. And if it's not, I'll put it in the notes. I'll put the PDF for everyone. And it's called the breathing app. I don't know what Komal may have been bumped off for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, the breathing app. Okay, Manisha. Thank you, Manisha. All right, so let's start with this. I know that explanation, to me, it seemed like it was so long. I don't know if that's how you all feel. But let's start by laying down. I'm not going to lay down because I'm going to play the sound. Lay down, knees bent, hip width distance apart. We start with the abdominal first, where we put our middle finger around the navel. Just feel relaxed. Use a little cushion for your neck so it doesn't kind of splay backwards. And I am going to start playing the sound. And I'm going to start saying inhale and exhale in the beginning. We're doing only 1 minute of the abdominal breathing, okay? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And it's all through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just take a few regular breaths, and then you can lift your hands. You don't have to open your eyes if you don't need to, if the instructions were okay last time. But for those who are confused, you can still keep laying down. You're still laying down, but your hands now come up a little bit right where your diaphragm is. underneath your rib cage a little bit, little on your rib cage, little off your rib cage. Thumb is at the back, like you're holding the sides of your waist, upper waist. And you're always breathing in and out through your nose in these practices. There's just a few pranayams where you use your mouth. But for this, we are using our nose and we're keeping it at that. Nasal breathing functions very differently compared to mouth breathing. So I'm going to start. We're doing 1 minute of the diaphragmatic breathing. You still focus on the inhales and the exhales through the air that's entering your nose. You pay attention to just the air that's entering your nose and hitting the ceiling of your nose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Take a couple of normal breaths. Just a little regular breathing. And then we come back to putting our hands up, cross your hands, place them on your chest, upper chest, like that. I'm showing it if somebody wants to see it. You're still laying down. Your knees are still bent. I'm going to start. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I want you to just really dip into how you're sensing and feeling. Keep your hands, relax them on the sides, like you were doing Shavasana or corpse pose, with your palms facing up. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do 2 minutes of just a full resonance breath. The goal of those 3 practices was to bring you to a full breath. And I don't want you to be focusing on your abdomen or your diaphragm or your chest, but more, like I said, on the inhale and the exhale, the air entering your nostrils, and your body will do its own thing. Towards the last few breaths, I'll give you a cue. At that point, you can start to actually notice how full your breath is. So I'll tell you, hey, this is a good time to notice how full your breath is feeling. And that time you can go and feel how you feel from your chest all the way down to your belly. And as you practice this, you actually learn to use your prana fully. It's a very, very important preparatory practice for pranayam. It's also very, very important. Otherwise, I'm going to do the 2-minute breathing now. Inhale, exhale. 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 Just enjoy that for a few moments. When you feel ready, you can come back. And if you have any quick questions in the chat, you can please type it. Otherwise, we'll move to our next practice, which is alternate nostril breathing. But we're going to first start with single nostril breathing. Ekta, we'll talk about that after the session. If anybody has any questions regarding the breathing, how they felt, what they experienced, please put it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll move quickly to the next practice, alternate nostril breathing, but we'll start with single nostril first. And this is a practice that you can take home with you, do it every day safely for 3 weeks, the entire protocol that we're doing today, before you move on to anything else. No. So, Lloyd, you just do what feels natural, right? So you inhale, and there may be a second or two of a pause if that feels normal for you. Some people, they just move right into the inhale and exhale right away. And this by itself, right, is so relaxing because I'll tell you in 3 weeks of practicing this, your skin will change, your sleep will change, your energy levels will change, everything will change. We're not lying down anymore. So we're done with the lying down. You feel coldness and dryness in the nose while inhaling and a little warm while exhaling. Lovely. So you really tuned in, Seema. How I hold your breath so often. Yeah. You felt a little pain. Where did you feel the pain? So see, for so many of us, right, for the first time, we're actually focusing on our breath. Now, good news is, Priya, as that we're going to do single nostril breathing first, which kind of helps to open up nostrils. Ideally, you can do this for 2 minutes when you're practicing at home. I'm going to do it for 1 minute. We will write down the protocol for you and I'll tell you how we do it. So we sit up cross-legged. This pyramid pose is the best pose to move prana, right? So when I say pyramid pose, it's cross-legged. If it's not possible for you, okay, if this is new for you and you need to sit on a chair or a stool, I understand. You need to sit with your legs placed on the ground, flat. Then you do make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Eventually, you want to work to sitting up like this. I know when I was 15 and I went for a Vipassana meditation course and I had to sit for 13 hours a day without back support. I could not even sit for 10 minutes. I looked around and I said, how are these people sitting, for 10 days without any back support? Today, I know I can do that very, very easily. So it's a little bit of conscious practice. It's a little bit of effort. And then your body becomes used to sitting like that. So we do this in a mudra. Okay, so we're going to start with, I'm going to demo first, and then we're going to do it. We're going to start with breathing from our left nostril first, and we're going to do this for 1 minute. So we're going to block the right nostril by placing our thumb right here where this little ridge is, and you gently press it. You can close close your fist if that's what is feeling normal, or if that's what's feeling inviting. What we do then, after we inhale and exhale from your left nostril for 1 minute to the gong sound, then we kind of take, ideally, you want to take the first two fingers and lock them with your thumb. So the thumb that was placed here now still gets used to lock these two fingers, the index and the middle, and the last two fingers get put right here on the left nostril. So now the right nostril is released. And if that's hard for you, you can use just almost anything that you feel like using. You don't have to lock these two first fingers. You can just leave them open and just use two fingers, whichever feel comfortable. Ideally, you want to do the mudra because, again, every mudra transfers energy. Don't go crazy with it if it's not working for you. I actually couldn't do this for a while, but otherwise, this is the mudra. And you use your thumb, and then you can release it. Either use your thumb to lock these two fingers, or just even leave it open. Okay? So we first start, the first one is super easy. We start with our left nostril. We use the thumb to close the right nostril. I'm going to set a timer for just 1 minute. Let's start. Okay? This, and we do inhales and exhales. I'm going to be saying them for you as we go. Just through your nose, keep your mouth closed. For those of you who feel like it's very hard to inhale and exhale because your nose is blocked, just tune into that and see how it feels. Maybe you have a shorter inhale, exhale, but let's do this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. With your eyes closed, let go of the right nostril. Just feel the air coming through both your nostrils. Seeing how it feels, just notice. And now we move to the other side, which means we block our left nostril using our pinky and third finger. I'm going to demo all the ways you can do this with your thumb locked. Last two fingers, thumb out, everything open. I'm going to start. Now we inhale and exhale through the right nostril, which is the fiery one. More fire. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just enjoy that for a few seconds. And now we're going to get both the nostrils in the mix. So we're going to start always with our left. We have the same mudra. I'm going to show it I'm going to show you two ways of doing the hands. This is the first way, where you inhale to the sound of the gong. Exhale from the other side, right? So you inhale from the left, exhale from the right. So observe my hands. Then you inhale from the right, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. And we're going to do this for 2 minutes, and I'm going to give you cues to how you're inhaling and exhaling. The second way to keep your hand is, this is easier, where you don't do the mudra, but you use your thumb, last 2 or 3 fingers to close your left. Both are fine for now, so don't beat yourself up if you can't do the mudra. If anybody has questions about how this works, the ratio is not longer inhale and exhale, it's equal. I'm going to do 5:5, and we're going to do this for 2 minutes. I'm going to see the screen to see if anybody has questions. I feel a chill, dry feel inside my nostrils. Yeah, and as we, nostril bone. We are doing, this is called anulom vilom, or alternate nostril breathing. So everybody, you can get ready with starting to place the thumb on the right nostril, closing your eyes. Anita, you can do it if you're stuffy and congested, right? So, but if you're feeling uncomfortable, you need to use your mouth a little bit, that's fine. What I usually prefer if you're stuffy and congested is to do the single nostril breathing to a lower count. Today I did 4-6, you can go lower and do 4-4. For this, I'm using the count of 5 seconds to 5 seconds, 5 inhales, 5 exhales for anulom vilom, for alternate nostril breathing. Okay, I want you to sit straight. For me, if I do this after the resonance breathing, my whole body starts vibrating because the prana moves become so fine-tuned. I want you to pay attention to how the breath feels warm when you exhale, how it's regular temperature when you inhale, but the whole experience is quite remarkable when you tune into it. So you start with your thumb on the right nostril, and let's begin. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left, exhale from the right. Inhale from the right, Exhale from the left. Inhale from the left. Exhale from the right. Inhale from the right. Exhale from the left. You can put your arms down, keep your eyes closed. Just notice if you feel any vibration in your body, if you feel any calm, if you feel just how suddenly the world around you seems quieter, even though there may be noise. This practice can be done several times a day with your pranayam routine before bedtime, early in the morning, middle of the day when you're not feeling well. Gently open your eyes. We have very short practices left now. I'm going to move. If anybody has questions, you can go ahead and ask me now regarding this practice, or we move to the next one, which is Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is not technically a pranayam, it's a kriya. What Kapalabhati, and I'll show you what Kapalabhati is. Kapalabhati is done because a lot of times we have stuffiness and congestion, and that kind of blocks the flow of prana. What we don't realize is congestion is not just discomfort, it actually changes how prana moves through our body. So Kapalabhati is a cleansing practice, and it cleanses this whole region of it cleanses this whole, I'm going to answer those questions. Cleanses this whole region, keeps it clean. We're going to do 30 Kapalabhati breaths, but I'm going to demo what they are. They're very easy, very quick, takes very little time. You act like there's a fly in your nose, on here, on the tip of your nose, and you're gently, without being violent to the fly, without giving it a tornado, you're doing gentle exhales to move the fly off the nose, off the tip of the nostril. So you do a gentle inhale. So the inhales just happen spontaneously. You don't have to focus on the inhale after this first inhale. Inhale. Just focus on the exhales. And this part of your stomach moves when you exhale. Belly button to your pelvis. So that's how you do 30 breaths. It's not, a lot of people do all crazy movements when they do Kapalabhati, move their head, it's very gentle. I'm going to do it one more time. The first inhale is conscious, everything else is spontaneous. You're focusing on the exhales from your nose. And with that, the lower part of your belly just moves. Nothing else should move. We are going to do 30 Kapalabhatis. And Kanupriya, I'm going to answer those questions as well so that we have enough time. I want to make sure that we have enough time for the practice in case people need to leave, and I'll answer every question. So the Kapalabhati Kriya, we'll start it now. Does not require sound, does not require anything. I'm so happy, Mama Yani. Okay, we're going to start with Kapalabhati. It might take a little bit of practice. I like to sit in this Jnana Mudra when I do it. Inhale. I'm going to do my 30 counts, you do your 30 counts, and then we meet again. And then we ask Kapalabhati questions after we are done. After this, we do Brahmari and we are done. So inhale. Take a few deep breaths. You never take deep breaths by inflating your chest. You take deep breaths by pretending that you're inhaling a scent somewhere far away. and focusing on the wall, on the ceiling of your nostrils, automatically you'll take the deep breath. And come back to the room. And we're going to do our final practice. So we did first resonance breathing, we did single nostril breathing, we did alternate nostril breathing, we did Kapalabhati, and now we're going to do Brahmari, also called the bumblebee breath. It's a great breath when you're feeling overly wired and all your senses are out there. My teacher Eddie Stern says if there's one practice you want to practice in pranayam, only one, it has to be Brahmari. Great for your mind, great for release of nitric oxide, so for your endocrine system, for your nervous system. Really, really great practice for everything possible. It really brings instant calm. So this is how you do a Shanmukhi mudra. So the goal is to kind of quieten your senses. You take your middle finger and you place it on your eyelid. You take your third finger, you place it below your nostrils. Your pinky right here on your chin. Your index on top of your eyebrows. I want everyone to just try that once, 4 fingers spread apart. And I'll tell you what to do with the thumb. Once you've done that, you can release your hands, open your eyes again, and see how I'm demoing. Okay, hands off now. You take your thumb and close your ears by placing them gently inside the ear. For this again, we inhale through the nose to demo it. So we're going to do this 4 times. The first time, you can put your arms down if they're up. The first time you do it, I want us to say king. So we get familiar with the ng. The next 3 times, we're going to just do the ng. Okay. So let's do it. Middle finger, top of eyes, index finger near the eyebrows, third finger below the nostrils, pinky on your chin, thumb in your nose. We're going to start with king. The next 3, we're just going to do the ng sound. Inhale from your nose. Inhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose. Keep your eyes closed. Gently release your hands. Rotate your shoulders if you need to. And find quiet within you while I chant 3 ohms. Ideally, you want to take 5 minutes of rest either in Shavasana or putting your legs up against the wall, Viparit Karni, after this practice. But for the sake of this demo today, I'm just going to end with 3 ohms and then I'll take questions. Rub your palms against each other. The warmth you can feel. You can take it to your ears, your face, your eyes. You can gently open your eyes. While we are here, I did want to quickly announce that I am doing, um, we are doing an immunity workshop next Thursday. And it's not, hey, eat your vitamin C's or have amla or do this. It's really the understanding that the alignment of the nervous system and the digestive and the respiratory system is really what brings immunity. I'm going to talk about simple practices, but more than anything, I'm going to give you an understanding of how you can tell that these systems are off and what can you do to keep them working at their optimum. When these three systems are working at their optimum, your body has created its defensive landscape. There's no way you're getting sick. So we're going to be talking about. I'm so glad, Dinah, that you're joining. So we are going to be doing that next Thursday. You can find the details on the link in my bio on my Instagram. But we're also going to target is how do you identify that you're coming down with something, and what do you do as a first line of defense? What do you do if you've had COVID and you want to, you feel like your body is suffering and you're getting repeated colds and your coughs are extended longer. So how are you going to recover from all of that? How are you going to really create this strong body so you can live freely? I can tell you, I have done that successfully through the pandemic. I've traveled anywhere I wanted. I've not worn a mask. I've not gotten COVID. I did get sick once. I got a flu once, and I know exactly what happened in which system of my body for my immunity to be compromised. But if we can keep these three systems working, and they're not even that hard, the simple practices that I will be teaching you will teach you how to keep these systems working well. Anyways, let us take questions. I am so glad. Thank you so much for attending, all of those who attended. I know there was a lot of commentary because I was teaching when you take this practice and make it your own, go from one breath to the other, the results are astounding. You're left so connected to yourself after the practice that it can feel quite remarkable. Will we get recording to the practice, Monica? You will get a recording. It will be on YouTube. Komal will also put it on Podia. What is the difference between Kapalabhati and breath of fire? I thought it's called the sun breath. Kapalabhati, I think Bhastrika is called the breath of fire, but I'm not 100% sure. Unfortunately, I only am familiar with the Sanskrit terms, but if somebody else is, you can enlighten us. What is this technique called? Which one? Which breath, Kitty, are you talking about? Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Preeti. I missed the first exercise. This will be recorded, so that's no problem. Vishal, this is beautiful. Thank you. And sorry, I missed your question earlier, Vishal. Thank you, Mana. Thank you, Kanu. Thanks, Partha, Mitali. The immunity workshop is applicable. It's applicable for everybody, for kids. I mean, that's how I manage to keep my children healthy, right? They eat normal food, they live normal lives, just by understanding the digestive system, the nervous system, and simple practices. Simple practices for each of these respiratory system. With one of them, even if one of them goes down, and I'll tell you how to identify that they're going down, you can see that something is going to come up. So we just keep them in that sweet balance. And I think it's good for all. Tried, tested, seen, all of it. Thank you, Dinah. I'm so glad. Okay, Preeti, thanks for sharing that. This was wonderful. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Disha. Thank you, all of you. I'm trying to see the quiet. Would like to know if anyone wants to do routine every day and how long. So, Richa, you want to do this routine, and I'm going to put the PDF. Do it for 3 weeks. I want you guys to not do anything else for 3 weeks. No other breath. Just this pranayam practice for 3 weeks, and see, and do it with the intention that let it bring me to what I need to go to next. Let it bring clarity about who I am, my life, what I need to know. through pranayama, I always want you to keep that intention that let this prana guide me towards my life. And I want to see, I mean, if somebody can even do this as an experiment and get back to me what happens after those 3 weeks. But just this practice, don't go further. Just be really, this will really get you to tune into every little aspect of your body, your breath, your nostrils, your diaphragm, everything. You feel your right nostril is often blocked. Yeah, if you're like, you're probably, your body has more kapha, it's more slow, it's more sluggish, more watery. Uh, you need to do more right side. You need to have less fire. This breath work helps tremendously with anxiety, like tremendously. Thank you, Mitali. Uh, by doing right nostril breathing or digestion, it can improve. You don't want to overheat your system, but yes. Can this be done with kids? Absolutely, you can do it with kids. Kapalabhati cannot be done if somebody's pregnant or has high blood pressure. If you've done it today, not a problem. We did a very gentle practice, but you don't want to do it every day long term. The last one we did, the Brahmari. What about the Brahmari? What was your question, Kitty? Now I forget. If you can write your question again, I will wait till if anybody needs to bump off, please feel free. I understand we're at the top of an hour. Kitty, what is this technique called? The Brahmari. It's called the Brahmari. Right is heating and left is cooling. It is the reverse. The right is Pingala, the left is Ida. And that's why you always cool before you heat. So we always start with the left nostril. Sometimes I'll tell people to just do right nostril. I'll just say do this Surya Bhedi, which is the sun side of your body, the more heated side of your body, if I feel like that's what they need. But you want to, you really want to tune into your body first with this. All right, everybody. If there are no more questions, I shall take your leave. Thank you so much for joining me. And how many times you can do? You can do it. You can do it twice a day if you want. Do it at least once a day. Just don't do it on a really full stomach. Don't. It's a very gentle practice. You can do it in the middle of the day. Also, I like morning is the best time. You don't want to have a lot of caffeine and do this. You want to do it on an empty stomach and then follow up with milk, because all your nadis, all amazing places in your body open up after pranayam, little channels. And if you'd follow it up with milk or milk and ghee, hot milk, of course, um, great things can happen in your body because that good fat enters subtle channels, really replenishes your nerves. Can there be a viram or a pause between the inhale and the exhale in an Anulom Vilom? So I do a long viram. I actually hold it. I do a full kumbhak. So there's other things. There are locks in the bodies. There are bandhas. Those are all higher practices. You stumble upon them or you will get to them. I think I stumbled upon my bandhas for sure, the Mula Bandha. But they're great. And I'm certain that by doing these three practices, you will stumble upon them. So some people naturally want to hold between the inhale and the exhale. You can do that if that feels normal for you. Will it help with 100% Mitali? It's going to help. Sometimes I tell clients, let just the gong sound play in the background and mechanically inhale, exhale while you're typing, while you're doing something, because you get used to it. It's like the Pavlov dog's experiment. If you take the cue of the gong to inhale, exhale, and then you play the gong in the background, subconsciously you start inhaling, exhaling. We will put the meeting, the timings as well. You can do it before the bedtime. All right, everybody, I will end the stream now. And I think hopefully it'll give me a chance to publish this. I think it's recorded, so we will have it. All right, everybody, take care. Have a fantastic Thursday ahead.